Hey guys, it's Jason with Kentucky Sustainable Living. I hope everybody's having a good Friday and kicking off the weekend. Y'all can start drinking after the live, or you can drink during the live. Just don't get too mouthy with us. I've got Jake with us, and Emily Rock is here with us too. And Shelly is at one of her grandson's championship baseball games. So we wish them luck and hope they win the championship. She decided that her grandson was more important than milk. But we got Jake and Emily. Emily, thanks for coming on. Tell everybody kind of your background, how you got started in this crazy raw milk that is horrible and going to kill so many thousands of people when they just smell it and everything. So
You're right.
we'll let you talk and just tell us who you are, what you've got going on, and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I'm excited to be here. So, this whole thing started when I was a kid. So, I grew up in Waddy, Kentucky, and we didn't have a big commercially productive farm. We kind of had an old McDonald farm where we had dairy cattle, beef cattle, pigs, chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, anything you could think of. And I don't think I ever ate one of those animals. They were honestly all just big pets. So when I was 9 years old, I got into 4-H and started showing dairy cattle. I showed Ayrshires back then. They're the ones that are red and white. And I had always wanted a Jersey. When I turned 18, that dream came true, and I got my first Jersey, and that is the only dairy cattle breed that I've had since I got one. So I came down to Western, went to school there, graduated in 2019 with my degree in recreation administration. Ended up staying, met my husband, and then we moved to a neighborhood on a golf course, which neither of us were crazy about. Then COVID hit, and we were stuck in the house, and we just decided that, with all the grocery store shortages, that we needed a change in our life to be in control of our life and our food sources. So we bought our farm in Bowling Green in 2021 January. March rolls around, and there's a cattle sale down in Tennessee. So at this point, we only owned 2 dogs. Those were our pets.
Was it the exotic show in Tennessee?
No, it was a
Okay.
showcase show.
All right.
Sale. So we went down to Tennessee in my Range Rover. We didn't have a truck. We didn't have a trailer. We didn't have fence. We didn't have a 5-gallon bucket to our name. But it had been a couple years since I had owned a show animal, and we have at the time, I guess he was 5. He's 7 now, a 7-year-old. So he's, old enough that he can start showing. So we all trucked in to Tennessee, and we bought a Jersey calf. She was a December calf. And then realized we were going to have to get her home somehow. Not in the back of my car, that's for sure. So Kelsey had a friend down there, and he loaded her up and brought her home. And we rushed home so that we could stop by Tractor Supply to get hoses, buckets, some feed for her. I knew what I was doing. I just wasn't prepared for this, because when me and my husband got married, I said I would never own a chicken and that he would never own a dairy cattle. So he grew up on a big commercially productive farm. They have the mega chicken houses with Tyson, and then they've got a couple hundred head of beef cattle. So we both come from farming backgrounds, but very, very different. So we get home, we built a little pen for her in the back over the weekend. So when we first got her, we just tied her up to a gate. Thankfully, she was pretty calm. And that's how we started into this here on our farm. And now I just said on my Instagram earlier, we've got 27 animals. We've got 1 milk cow. She's a Jersey. We've got 2 Jersey heifers that the kids show throughout the summer. We've got a little steer calf that our milk cow had him back in February. We've got some chickens, some ducks, some geese, pigs, bunnies, and cats and dogs. So with all of that, I'm able to invite kids out to the farm, and I actually host farm school. So I've been doing that since April of this year. It's kids 1.5 to 12 years old come out once a week for 4 weeks, an hour-long class, and they get introduced to farm animals. They pet them, feed them. They learn that eggs come from chickens, that milk comes from cows, that their sausage breakfast sandwiches in the morning come from a pig. And it's really fun getting to see the kids. They'll go out to the coop and get the eggs and they'll shake it. And they're like, what's in here? Like, they think it's like a plastic Easter egg. And it's like, no, it's the eggs from your grocery store.
Is
That
there a
came out
Hershey
of your
Kiss in
fridge.
there?
Yeah, and then we'll milk the cow, and they love it. The kids will drink it, but the adults won't.
Really?
I think the kids will ask for more. I'll be like, okay, well, you can do it, and they're like, no, you do it, because they just want to drink it. They don't actually want to milk her, and we'll hand milk her.
And then all the kids die that come out there, right?
Not yet. That's never happened. I've never had a fatality. But I guess my time's coming. No, I'm just kidding. And along with that, I do sell herd shares. I don't sell raw milk. I sell herd shares that allow you to get raw milk in exchange. So that's what we do here. We teach farm school, we sell raw milk, and my husband's a banker so that we can afford to do all this.
Yeah. Well, that's the joke. How to make $1 million raising cattle is to start with $2 million.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. So, well, what have you got going right now? You're milking. Tell us kind of about your milking stuff. How you do? Because a lot of people see it. And to be honest with you, I was one. I was like, I want a stinking milk cow. Mm-hmm. I got the calmest, nicest, gentlest Jersey cow. She loved me to death. We bred her, or we bought her. She had 2 calves on her. We ended up butchering the calves and everything, and got her bred back. And I was like, I don't have time for this crap. So I ended up selling her. So I hated to, but I sold her. But everybody's like, yeah, I want a milk cow. I want a milk cow. Tell people what you're committing to on a milk cow.
Absolutely. So a lot of people, there is the option to calf share. And what that means is you only milk once a day. You choose morning or night, and then the calf is with the milk cow the rest of the day. But personally, I don't like doing that because you're not going to get that thick cream line on top. So I milk twice a day. At first, I was hand milking, and my milk cow gives me, I'm looking this way because I'm looking at her out in the pasture.
Show everybody your milk cow.
Let me figure out if I can flip you around.
Just spin it.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wasn't prepared for this. I don't know if you can see her, but there she is, and she's out with the little Hereford calf.
Oh, okay.
Not her calf. It's a mini Hereford. So
one of those bougie cows.
She was accidentally a miniature. She got pneumonia when she was born, and it stunted her growth.
Oh heck.
Yeah, but she's fine now. So she calved in February, and I was hand milking, and she gets 6 gallons a day. So it was taking, when she first calved in, it took me 2 hours to milk her out. And if you don't completely get all of that milk out, your cow's going to get mastitis. And if it's your first time dealing with this, I hate to sound harsh, but she's probably going to die.
Yep.
And I think we're past that point now that the over-the-counter medicine, it's called, I can't remember if it's
tomorrow.
Yeah, today or tomorrow. I don't think you can buy that at Tractor Supply off the shelf anymore. You've got to have
You can't. Yeah, they stopped it.
So we're past that now?
Yep. That was I think the 11th of this month.
Okay, so yeah, you've got to have a vet prescription for that. So I was hand milking, took me about 2 hours, twice a day. And I don't use iodine. I know some people will probably come at me for that. I use hot water and antibacterial soap and clean washcloth, and I clean her off, dry her off, and get to milking, and make sure it goes in a steel transport container to keep it clean. Then I'll filter it through the strainer, put it in the fridge, and there it is. That sounds simple, but it's a lot more simple for me now. It still takes me about an hour to milk, but that's the whole process. So I have a machine now. It's a double milker. I bought that used on Facebook, actually, for a great deal. I bought a double because that gives me an excuse to buy another milk cow, because I don't need this machine. I'm not fully using it to its potential. So I have a Molasti. I'm not sure the number that it is, but it's great. I would buy it full price if I had to. With that, I can get her completely milked out in under 8 minutes. It does take extra time to clean it, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but it's something you have to do and something that if you don't do, people will get sick.
Yeah.
So my day, I get up. So I have a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I get up, try to get all the chores done before my 1-year-old wakes up. If not, he's in his little wagon right along with me doing chores. So I do give her grain. That's another big topic is grass-fed and grain-fed cattle. She's on pasture all day long. That is clean, full of nice, tall, long grass. So she doesn't really get dirty that enough that I would have to worry about her laying in her manure. That I would have to like sterilize her whole udder before I milk her. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So she eats grass all day, but I do give her grain at milking time, which is what I choose to do because I think it makes her look better. She holds her condition better, and a skinny, malnourished cow is not going to breed back and not be to her full milk potential if she's hungry.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And talking about the cleanliness, I talked to one of my friends, and she did goats for quite a while, and did milk goats, and then now she's got a milk cow, and I got out of the goats. But I was talking to her about it when I got my cow, and she was like, being clean is the biggest part of it. And she told me, she said essentially the milk that is in her udder, when it comes out, it's clean. So if it goes into a clean container, there's no contamination whatsoever. She was like, but if it's coming off a dirty teat and going into a dirty container, she said that's when you've got your problems with it.
Absolutely.
So,
and again, so pasteurization has only been an FDA mandatory regulation since 1987. My husband, I don't know how old you guys are, but my husband was born in 84. So it's crazy to think that he's older than pasteurization. Now, it wasn't invented then, of course. It was actually created by Louis Pasteur, a French guy in the wine industry that was trying to export wine. And by the time it got where it was going, it was spoiled. So he heated it up, killed the enzymes in it to make it last longer on shelf. That didn't end up working in the wine industry, and he had a great idea, I guess you could say. Offered it to the dairy industry, and I guess that helped out a lot of farmers and producers so that they could keep their product on the store shelves longer. And also back then, things were dirty. Cows were pushed together on feedlots, and people didn't know about bacteria back then, so things were dirty. People did get sick, and people did die from that. But it's again, I always say, if you want to purchase raw milk through a herd share, go to your farmer, meet them, meet the cow, see what the living environment is like. If you're comfortable with it, make that decision and go for it. Whoever you're getting the raw milk from shouldn't have anything to hide, and if they do, they're probably not trustworthy.
oh yeah, that's just like buying any animals. You know, go check out the guy's farm, see what the living conditions are of the animals and stuff like that. And if you don't feel comfortable, go somewhere else. So you really want to be with a reputable place. What, Jake?
Yeah. So honestly, I mean, it seems like, and I'm new to, I'm learning about raw milk as we talk about it, but like most regulations in agriculture, was brought on by big ag. I mean, it was large milk producers that wanted longer shelf lives and to not worry about contaminated milk.
Oh yeah. Well, Emily, how old is the milk? If you go to Kroger right now, how old is that milk?
Ooh, I'm gonna say 2 weeks old.
Really?
Yeah, that's my guess. So my family, so my grandparents raised me, and they had a commercial dairy farm until I came along, and then they sold out because I guess I was a lot to deal with.
A billion.
So actually, I don't have a lot of knowledge about the commercial dairy industry, believe it or not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, the eggs that you buy in the store, how many weeks old? It's crazy. It's like, yeah, these eggs are weeks and weeks old.
Yeah.
So,
And then most families probably won't eat a whole dozen in a week. So by the time you finish it, they're a month old at least.
Hey, right here, Jake, you got somebody from Indiana.
I was going to say, yeah, there's definitely somebody from Indiana in this. I am. So
Take it. Talk to her, Jake. Tell her. She said they're going to be there in October.
yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, make the trip. It'll be worth it. I've been at multiple events with a lot of the people that are going to be there. I mean, the only way the last event I was at in Tennessee, I probably met 15 people from Indiana. So know when you go to something with like-minded people, you're going to find people in your area, So it'll be worth the trip. And as many people as we had in Indiana and Tennessee, I guarantee we'll have them in Bowling Green.
Oh yeah, and it's weird, Emily. You're only like 15 minutes from me,
I know.
And before we started doing the festival stuff and planning it, I never knew that you were over there. I'd seen you at Clover Buds, but I didn't know what was going on with that. So right there's that connection. Then Enos, I didn't know Enos, the bluegrass trapper. I didn't know he was that close to me. He's just on the other side of Allen County from us. So that,
just like Enos, Jason didn't know him. I'm from Indiana, and like I knew him from his channel. And I'm like, hey, I know this guy's in Kentucky somewhere, bluegrass trapper. And I reached out to him, and he's 20 minutes from the event.
Yeah. All right, here, let's see. I look forward to that. We're rural. Where's that at, Jake?
So you're actually right by where we live now. We're in Waynetown, Indiana. So
How do you pronounce that?
Tippecanoe County. Yep, we're not far from them at all.
Oh yeah, y'all hook up with Jake. Jake's YouTube channel is Dog Creek Farms. You can get and contact all your contacts on there, right, Jake?
Oh yeah, yep.
All right. Now we got Mr. Bruce. Bruce is Bruce DeVries. Bruce makes some of the best leather goods known to man.
That would be good.
And no kidding, that and he's the biochar pimp. So,
okay.
So Bruce wants to know if you've got herd shares available.
So I don't have any available right now. I'm maxed out, but I'll be getting 2 new cows this coming fall. So check back then.
Bruce will be at the festival. He's going to be talking about biochar and showing his leather stuff.
Cool. I'll need some halters made.
Hey, Bruce can hook you up. Bruce actually came up today. Bruce lives in Orlinda, I think is where Bruce lives, right across the state line.
Okay.
Bruce came up today and got some Tramachino squash seeds from me and brought me a kiln to make biochar.
Cool.
All right, Jake. Apparently, they're pretty close to you.
Yeah, I knew when they said it. It's not that big of a county, so.
Oh yeah. Bruce is in Cross Plains.
Cross Plains, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna smack me for saying Orlinda, I bet.
Yeah.
All right. Huh? What?
Yeah. We've had the Pizza King a few times.
But we went totally off track on this. Big ag. Anytime something a lot of times happens in agriculture, it's all because of big ag. And in my opinion, it's not for the good of the people. It's the good of the big ag, really.
Yeah,
So,
because they're not making any money off me selling raw milk.
well,
I mean, it would be like thinking the government's looking out for you. I mean, big ag.
but they are.
Just as much as the government. So.
Well, oh yeah, we'll get into that and then start getting the live feed cut out and everything else. Emily, every now and then the live feed will cut out when we start talking about something we're not supposed to.
They're listening.
Well, we did a thing, Vets for Child Rescue, and we had one of the guys from Vets for Child Rescue and Billy from Permapastures got on and was talking about it and said some stuff that YouTube didn't like, and they cut his phone and feed and everything off. Yeah. So, and then I've been cut off a couple times when I was talking on the phone to a lady about stuff. So, Yeah, .gov is watching. But
Well, I'll post reels on Instagram and it'll take off all of the words that I type on the reel. So I'll have to delete it because it doesn't even make sense. But I'll be talking about, government trying to interfere with raw milk, and I don't vaccinate my kids, so that's a whole nother thing.
oh yeah, one of those horrible people that doesn't care about their kids.
Right.
You're just
Drinking raw milk.
Oh yeah, no vaccines, drinking raw milk. They probably don't have any shoes either, do they?
No.
Golly.
That's true.
Yeah, CPS is watching this. They're going to be on your ass in a heartbeat. So, but I'm the same. I'm the same way, and it's I've seen it. I'm some of the vaccines are okay, but then some of them are kind of like, screw this. I'm not doing this deal. So, but that's a whole different thing. We'll get kicked off for sure if we start talking about that.
I was going to say, I feel like Shelly's not on here, so let me be like the voice of reason, which is a scary thought. Jason, let's get back on track.
Moderator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emily, Shelly has to keep me in my place. She's the voice of reason. Jake, a lot of the time, sits back and just laughs about it when I go on a tangent. And so Jake's going to be the one that keeps us in our lane.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
If not, we'll start talking about Target and everything else.
Oh, do not get me started on Target.
Did you stop shopping at Target?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I did go in one time after all that to see it for myself, and there it was. It wasn't even up front like the videos I was seeing. Here we are talking about it. Let me say this. It was in the back next to the children's clothes. Like the whole section was right next to the kids section.
Yeah. And then Bruce said, don't forget about the dairy buyout back in the 90s. Cows sold in the morning and the family brought them and did not miss a milking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce is a day or two older than me, so he knows a little bit more of what was going on.
Well, I mean, since we're talking about Target, I should talk about I played in a golf outing for work, and the beer cart came around, and the lady's like, the only thing I have left is Bud Light. She's like,
you're joking. You can't be serious.
Nobody will take the Bud Light.
And it was free, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. They didn't want to be.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, Garth Brooks is starting his gay bar down in Nashville.
I think the company is like, and my thing is, I don't even care. Just like we were talking earlier, like, I think you should have the choice to drink raw milk, just like you should have the choice for anything else. But it doesn't have to be, you're not out there like forcing raw milk on people.
Right.
So it's a choice. We have choices, and that's what it's all about. So.
It's not fair that, they can choose to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. That's not good for you. That can kill you, but we have the choice.
Yeah.
It's the chemicals they put in the tobacco that'll kill you, not the tobacco.
True.
Yeah. That's why I've got tobacco growing right now. So. Yeah. Mike with Food Plant Nursery hooked me up with some tobacco plants, and I planted them the other day. So we're going to try that out. So now I got to buy a tobacco or build a tobacco barn. So there it is. My husband works for Bud Light, competitor, and he's thrilled with the choices. I bet so. So my whole take on the whole go woke kind of deal is, if you want to do it. But I hope all these companies just go totally bankrupt, and I would love to see Target's doors boarded up.
Agreed.
So,
it's our job as consumers to vote with our dollar. You have the chance to buy, local raw milk from a herd share from Emily. That's what you should be doing. You should be supporting somebody local. You should be, you're never going to win if you just keep giving your money to the people making those decisions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Emily, can you make chocolate raw milk?
Absolutely. I make homemade chocolate sauce.
Well, damn, I'm on board. So, is it true that you get chocolate milk from brown cows?
Unfortunately, that's a lie.
Okay. All right.
I guess it's dirty enough it could be brown.
You probably don't want to drink that milk, though, do
Yeah.
you?
Don't drink the naturally brown chocolate milk.
What about pink milk? That's a little mastitis-y, isn't it?
Yeah. Or maybe she's really fresh. She's still got some blood in there. I would not recommend, this is not medical advice, but don't drink milk that's not white. Don't even drink it if it's yellow. I know one person I follow online, they used to make colostrum chili.
Nasty. That sounds gross.
I agree. That's a little overboard for me.
Golly, I'm not even going to say what that's kind of like, but that's like the people that eat afterbirth and crap.
I ate my placenta.
Did you?
Yep.
That's weird.
And like, so I mean, I didn't eat it, like grill it up. But yeah, I consumed my placenta.
like with a fajita, or how'd you do that?
No, it was in little pills. So I just took like 3 every day till they ran out.
Okay, so they put it in pill form. I'm down with that. I've never watched it, don't know anything about it, but I've heard about it.
Well, obviously not if you're asking if it was a fajita.
I mean, did you like cook it like a skirt steak or what?
I mean, I have seen people do that, and they put it in smoothies.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You're gonna blow
I mean,
people's minds here.
Get it encapsulated. So if you can't afford that option, might as well just have it in a fajita.
I'm having placenta smoothies and
In your raw milk.
oh my god, Jake, we went off the rails.
Yeah, I feel like Shelly's gonna watch this later, and we'll probably never be allowed to have another live.
I don't know you, Shelly, but sorry.
I'm surprised she hadn't called me yet. Let me check, make sure she hadn't called.
Yeah, she's not watching. I can guarantee. We would have got a text message by now.
Yeah, I have not got a phone call or a text message from Shelly. So, all right, let's get back on milk and milk shares and stuff like that. Tell us, Emily, tell us how a milk share works. A lot of people don't know. They hear milk share and they're like, what is that? So tell us the way you worked it.
Okay. So I do a herd share. What that means is you technically own part of my cow. And by you own,
You get to pick which part you own?
Sure.
Okay.
You got me off track. Hold on, let me bring it back in. Okay, so you own part of the cow. That allows you to drink the milk from her because nothing stops you from drinking milk from your own cow. So they'll pay every 6 months, they have the option to renew their herd share. So they'll pay a fee for the herd share. And once a month, there's a boarding fee. That covers water, fencing, my time to milk her in the rain because we don't have a barn. I milk off my front porch. I forgot to say that.
You need a barn.
That's coming. That's coming. Especially with 3 milk cows.
Yeah.
So the boarding fee is once a month, and the boarding fee allows them 1 gallon of milk per week. And then they can buy 2 herd shares, and then that allows them 2 gallons of milk per week. And then if I ever have extra, I do post that on Instagram and Facebook if people want to come grab it up.
All right.
Yeah. So that's how it's legal, is you own part of the cow. There is another way in Kentucky to get raw milk in the hands of consumers, and that's by labeling it for pet consumption only. I wouldn't purchase that, so I don't expect other people to. But if that is on the label, it's fine. It's for human consumption. That's just a way to get around it,
Yeah.
without having to do any contracts or that type of thing.
Well, you could put it for fish consumption, like the antibiotics.
Really?
Well,
I didn't know that was a thing.
well, no, fish antibiotics. You've seen antibiotics for fish, right?
No.
We're going to have a long conversation after this.
Okay.
I thought those were gone too, though. I thought those left with everything.
I think you can still get the fish antibiotics, but
I thought they were going away on June 11th or whatever with everything else.
we'll pull it up in a minute and see. But essentially, Emily, fish antibiotics that you buy for your aquarium are the same antibiotics and same dosages as what you get at the pharmacy. It's the exact same thing.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm
And
a medical person.
Yeah, most of your common antibiotics, like your amoxicillin, penicillin, and all that stuff. I worked for a vet for a while, and he told me, he said it comes off the same line. The right goes to the pharmacy, and the left goes to the vet.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've taken penicillin. I've gotten a Tractor Supply before. Gave myself a shot of it and went on about my day. So that was, it was pulled. I think it was pulled. They said the first. I think it was the 11th is when it was pulled from TSC and stuff like that. But it did. It was a whole lot of different medications. So, but well, we'll kind of veer into the lane and start talking about the festival. We've got the festival coming up October 28th and 29th. And we got it. It's going to be in Bowling Green, Kentucky at the Ag Expo Center. Everything's inside. The 27th, we've got Chuck Peoples is going to do a homestead medicine class. Emily, you ought to come to that since you don't know anything about medical stuff.
I probably got a milk.
It's starting at 8 o'clock, I think.
In the morning?
Yeah.
I got chores.
Get up earlier.
I can't. My cow will get excited if I don't milk her at the same time every day.
Oh, well, you can
So
show
how
up.
hard is it?
Hi,
So I know we're getting ready to change subjects, but like when it comes, I mean, that's what I would think of when I think of a milk cow, like just the commitment and never being able to do anything.
I mean, that's a baseball game. Not because of this, but because I had to milk at 5 and the game was at 5:30.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Chuck's gonna do the homestead medicine class on Friday. Chuck's also got a Stop the Bleed class going to go on Sunday. Eric with Porterhouse and Teal has got the Plant Guild class we're going to be doing on Friday also. Those classes are paid classes. You can go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com and check everything out. We've also got the Vets for Child Rescue charity dinner that we're going to be doing and raising money for Vets for Child Rescue. You can buy tickets at Kentucky Sustainable Living also there too. But Emily, you're going to be at the festival talking to us about, and hopefully we can stay in a straight line on this and stay in your lane on essentially homestead milking, what you can expect and stuff like that. What's some of the stuff that you're going to go over with that? Because you're bringing your cow and going to leave your cow. What's your cow's name?
Dixie Belle.
Dixie Belle. All right. I wouldn't. That's a good cow's name.
I didn't name her that. Her previous owner named her that.
Okay. But you'll have Dixie Belle, and she's going to be there all weekend, and you're going to be showing people. Tell us all what you've got planned.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk to people about the different breeds of dairy cows that you can have at your homestead. It doesn't have to be a Jersey. If you've got a big family, you might need a Holstein because they make more milk. Guernseys are also an option, or crossbreed. So we'll be talking about breeds. We'll be talking about the different options. So you can hand milk or you can machine milk. A dairy cow's diet, what all they need. Don't get in a situation like I did without even owning a 5-gallon bucket. Breeding your dairy cattle. We'll go into A1 and A2 types of milk, which is a hot topic right now.
Is that really that big a deal?
Okay, I'll give you my short explanation.
Is that another third rail topic?
No, it's on subject. So, in my opinion, A2 status only matters in pasteurized milk. So if you're going to buy store-bought milk, it should be A2. What that is it's the protein in the milk. A2 milk does not allow the peptide BCM7 to get into your digestive tract. BCM7 is what causes digestive issues like inflammation. It can even cause type 1 diabetes, autism. There was another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, A2 milk doesn't allow that to get into your gut. A1 milk, that filters right through, and that's in your gut, and you don't have the live enzymes in pasteurized milk to break that down. Versus raw milk, it has the enzymes to break down that and 7, so it's not an issue.
That's interesting. I know at the homesteading.
That more at the festival, so come and we can have that discussion.
All right. Well, are you gonna let anybody hand milk your cow?
Absolutely.
All right. So Dixie Belle doesn't mind strangers touching her?
No, not at all. I mean, I have children that can milk her. And honestly, if you're going to buy a milk cow, you should probably milk a cow before you own it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they'll buy one. And then I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, like milk cow, family milk cow, keeping a family milk cow. And people have the cow after asking how do I milk it. I'm not kidding. Like, it's sad and pathetic, and I feel bad for the cow. But
oh yeah,
people romanticize owning a family milk cow, and that's how all these cows get into this situation of being in the hands of irresponsible owners.
Oh yeah. Well, what would you tell people if Joe Blow and his wife are thinking about getting a milk cow? Tell us the top 10 things that they need to have in place before they bring that cow home.
Time is number one. Second of all, they need access to hay. They need access to clean water. Shelter for the cow, because a hot cow in the summer is a disaster waiting to happen. Honestly, there's not that much. It's pretty simple to own milk.
We need a 5-gallon bucket though. You have one of those.
5-gallon bucket would be the minimum because
Right.
it's plastic. You need stainless steel.
Do you need one of the short little milking stools, little wooden milking stools?
No.
Cartoon.
Go on and get those thigh muscles burning. That's what I.
So you don't need a gym, man, if you got a milk cow.
Absolutely not. Between having a milk cow, hand milking, and a 1-year-old, I've got muscles that I didn't think existed. No, really, time is the number one. Time, access to hay, water, shelter, fencing. No, really. So I mean, water for your cow and water for you to clean the cow with and your equipment. But yeah, if you're gonna have, you just need a stainless steel pail and some washcloth, some soap. And if I wasn't selling raw milk, I would be comfortable enough drinking it without straining it. But if you're going to sell it, or if you're looking and you're kind of squirmy about germs, get a filter. I use Shenandoah Homestead Supply. There's a lot of discount codes you can find online for them, but that's where I get my transport tote, my filters, and my strainer.
So you mentioned you were going to, get 2 more. I mean, is this something? I mean, how many cows do you want to have? I mean, how much time do you have?
I don't have enough time, but it's a life goal to legalize raw milk, and I want to eventually have a micro raw dairy where people come out to the farm, they can see the cow get milked, and have kind of a vending machine system where they can pick up their milk, and it doesn't have to be so under the table, meet people in the Mexican parking lots to pick up their milk.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How'd you get started? Like you mentioned how you have the farm school for the kids. Like, how did that get started? I mean, that's a pretty unique thing.
So I went to school for recreation administration. A lot of that was designed programs for kids. Usually it was camp related. I'm really good with kids, and I wanted to share our farm with others. And a lot of kids in our area don't have access to a farm that they can just free roam. All of our animals are friendly. You can pet all of them. And so I just saw a great opportunity to invite the kids out to, if it's just petting them or they actually learn something, I'm excited that they're here. So that's how that came about. I just had posted on some mom groups on Facebook if anyone was interested. there's a lot of people interested. So yeah, actually my last one will be next week. We'll stop for the summer and I'll start back up in September, and hopefully we'll have some new animals here that the kids can come out and see. And I've also had a couple of requests for adult farm school that kind of allows to bring your own beverage. I don't know how risky that is, but I think that would be a lot of fun. We'll just have to work out.
As long as they don't bring Bud Light, it's good then, right?
Yeah. If you can't get anything other than that, we'll provide.
Now, what would they do for the adult stuff?
You'd be amazing how many parents sign their kids up for farm school because they want to come.
Ah.
So, like, people just love farm animals.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they love just being around them. It's a soothing thing. They love getting to interact with them. I mean, we'll hold the chickens and feed them worms for 30 minutes, and it is the highlight of that child and that parent's week. People are just cooped up in the house all the time watching TV. They forget about these experiences. Today, I had a class right before this. We were visiting the ducks and the geese that I have, and I made the joke, have you guys ever played Duck, Duck, Goose? And today's class, it's all under 4. When I was 4, I definitely had played Duck, Duck, Goose, and they looked at me like my head had just got chopped up. So I taught them how to play it, and their attention span wasn't long enough to play it because kids are just glued to screens these days, and they're not outside.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a sad realization that kids don't know how to play Duck, Duck, Goose, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, going back to people liking farm animals, my wife has got a micro miniature donkey.
I'm jealous.
The thing stands like 32 inches tall and it's full grown. People find out she's got one of those and they'll call her like, can I come over and see your donkey?
Yeah, and take pictures with it.
Yeah, and people freaking drive from Tennessee to come see her donkey. And I'm like, I wouldn't walk 100 yards to see a stupid donkey, but people do it.
Okay, so we're surrounded by farms, and my neighbor across the road, they've got some donkeys, and one of them just had a baby, and I want to buy it, but they're not going to sell it to me. So maybe the next baby that they have, I'll get to purchase it. But yes, I think donkeys are so cute. Everyone thinks that.
Oh yeah, well she put a last Christmas she put like a little reindeer thing on it and these lights and it was running around and people went crazy about it on TikTok. I'm like, what is wrong with people? So
it's shocking to me. Like we had 20 growing up. We had 20 miniature donkeys. I'm like, I mean, it's like when I think about somebody driving to see a miniature donkey, I'm like, you don't know. If you drove a half hour, you probably actually drove past 20 miniature donkeys to go see that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and people when we had the little miniature Juliana pigs, people would want to come up and see the piglets, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, if you come up, help me catch them, please.
Yeah.
So, hey, Chuck dropped in. His ears were burning. So, Chuck is the one that's teaching the medical class, Emily.
Oh, hey Chuck.
So, you'll get to meet Chuck. But yeah, people wanted to come and see the little miniature baby pigs and cuddle them and stuff. And I'm like, the mom's mean. Good luck catching one of them. She's going to eat you alive. So, but you've got pigs.
I've got 2 coonies, and the kids can get in there with them, rub their bellies. They'll like roll over, and they love it. They eat it up. And a lot of things, the parents just want to come and have their kids do this to take pictures to put it on Instagram so that it shows that they did something today. You know, people are so obsessed with keeping up and staying busy that's part of it too, I think.
Now you've got pigs right now, don't you?
Yes.
All right. Are they just feeder pigs?
We have one feeder pig that was supposed to go to the butcher a long time ago, but my husband got sick and couldn't take her. I think he just loves her and doesn't want to sell her or eat her. And then the 2 coonies are a breeding pair. They should have piglets this fall.
Okay. Well, hey, we can help you on butchering classes. So
that'll be good to know.
Yeah, so, right, Jake?
Yeah, as long as Jason actually sticks around. I mean, the first time I met Jason, I came to his house to butcher some pigs with him, and he was out there for about 10 minutes. He's like, oh, I'm feeling really sick, guys. So me and Shelly had to do all the.
It was
actually,
longer. It was
Mike
longer
was
than
there.
10 minutes.
There were a few other people there. But yeah, that was one of the first times I met Jason in person.
What the backstory is, I get down here before everybody, have everything ready. I'm down here at 5:30 in the morning, getting everything ready. I'd gotten some coffee I found in the house, didn't pay attention to it, made a pot of coffee, drank like half a pot of coffee. Come to find out, it's this high voltage stuff that had espresso in it. So my blood pressure, by the time I felt like just flat out garbage, but I stayed down there until we got the pig skinned, gutted, and blocked out. And then I was like, I feel horrible. I have to go lay down because my blood pressure was so high. So
I know it's hard to butcher your first animals. So I grew up showing livestock. I never was. We had everything, but they were all show animals. We never ate any of them. Mm-hmm. And like the first time I butchered, I mean, we were eating dinner, and I had to ask my wife, like, is it just mental that I think this tastes so much better? She's like, no, it really does. But I think there's also like a mental thing, like knowing, that you did that and you raised that, you provided that. It's pretty empowering.
And you're not as wasteful with your food when you grew it and you know where it comes from.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, when we butcher a pig here, or when we butcher anything, I mean, there's even after I feed the dogs, I mean, there's nothing left. I mean, everything gets used. The innards gets used. We use it in the compost with the chickens. We take any of the bones and any of the scrap meat. I feed the dogs that. And I mean, Jake, you've been here. We clean the bones till there's almost not much for the dogs to eat off the bones.
If Mike's there's nothing left for him.
Who?
Mike.
Oh, Mike Shepard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Flat cleans them good. But yeah, there's a lot less waste, Emily, on that. I mean, literally, we didn't really throw anything away on the pigs, really. I mean, everything gets used on it. So, except for really the skin doesn't get used too much, but you can throw it out, and then the chickens peck on it for a while. So,
There's
Mike is in here. Well, Bruce said charcoal the bones, so we could do that. But the dogs seem to really like the bones. The dogs tore those cow bones up like nobody's business. So it grossed my wife out. She was like, because when we kept the bones and fed them to the dogs, we got livestock guard dogs. The dogs were running around with a cow femur in its mouth running out through the pasture. My wife was like, that's a little gross. I was like, it's okay.
Last year we had some beef heifers we raised. Had a terrible year with them, and over half of them died. So don't ask me about raising beef cattle. Anyways, we drug them off. And our dogs would bring back the hides into the house and chew on them, and they're terrible. And then now they're bringing back the skulls of them. And, they're tiny little things. And, we remember dragging them off. So it's kind of sad, but it's life.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jake, I know you got other questions. I suck at asking questions, so just.
I mean, you ask questions, it just leads us to Target and Bud Light.
Target and Bud Light.
Okay, have you heard about Reba?
I heard something about Reba.
She's on board with the drag queens in Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe Reba's really a drag queen.
I could see that.
Yeah.
She's pretty fancy.
Well, I mean, I've got my topics that I was going to do videos on. Of course, we got the submarine with the billionaires are down there. Who really gives a
Are they?
It's all a big thing. It's like, oh my gosh, this horrible thing's going on with these billionaires, and then they're screwing you on the other side of it. While everybody's looking at the billionaires, they're shafting you on something. So we got the subs, and then of course you got the Target, the tranny deal with the Target, and then the devil worshiping. They're also devil worshiping there too, the satanic stuff. And then the big one, while nobody was watching, they approved fake or lab grown meat. Have y'all seen that?
I saw that today. Yep.
Yeah, they approved lab grown meat. So, But yeah, that like the whole lab grown meat and stuff like that. I mean, that's something that's crazy. So
I just wonder where the switch was in people's brains that think that lab grown meat is healthier for you than real meat.
I don't really know.
I think people are getting so far removed from
Yeah.
what the animal was. I mean, like you mentioned, like kids shaking up the eggs, different. Like I think, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that people understood this stuff, but I don't know if they don't want to or if
Mm.
people are just that far removed. I mean, because it's shocking.
Well, I mean, we were at the baseball thing last night, and they were out there getting their awards and everything. And one of the parents is like, "Can you watch my kid?" And I was like, "Yes." I was watching this kid, and I knew him. It was a parent that I knew. So it was the younger brother of one of the kids on the baseball team.
Okay.
So we're sitting there, and I was talking to him. And I was like, he started talking about food. He was like, "What's your favorite food?" So we were talking. He goes, "I really like bacon." And I said, "You know where bacon comes from?" And he goes, "No." And I was like, "It comes from the belly of a pig." And he goes, what? What? So the kid will probably never eat bacon again. He probably told his mom. So I'm not allowed to watch the kid probably anymore. But yeah, people are so far removed. They all think it comes in these little plastic styrofoam containers.
From the grocery store, yeah.
Yeah. So
I've got a kid that comes to farm school. I hope he goes back and watches this. But he has a farmer sandwich he brings with him in the morning, and it's sausage, cheese, and egg. And he calls it his farmer sandwich because the farmer made it, and he can tell you where all of those things came from, which is pretty
that's
cool.
neat.
Because when he started out, he didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now, are you doing butter with yours?
Oh yes.
What about cheese?
I haven't had time to do that yet.
All right.
I've
Well,
only made butter and ice cream.
oh, yes. Can you bring some ice cream to the festival?
I mean, for you, I can. I don't have enough for everyone.
All right. You'll have to get more than 3 cows, won't you?
Yeah.
So, well, what? Yeah, let's. Jake, you want to do conspiracy theory stuff? What other crazy
I don't have
conspiracy
Sally
stuff?
on here. Now's your opportunity.
Yeah, I know, and I still have not got a text message or anything from Shelly, so we're
Oh, I
good.
told you. I guarantee she's not watching. We would have got our group text. I guarantee you that.
Hey, Shelly and I are getting ready to do a podcast and start a podcast. I'm surprised she agreed to it, but she said she would agree to it. So I'm surprised she likes the shirt that I've got on too.
I saw that. I like those.
Did you see what the back says?
I don't remember, but I did see it.
It says compost pedophiles.
Yes, now I remember.
So yeah, I was told I was not allowed to wear that to church. And I'm like, why? I mean, everybody at church should be.
Yeah, they should agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. Start us off with something, Emily. Tell us one of your big conspiracies. And don't do the easy ones like 9/11 was an inside job or something like that.
I mean, the moon landing was fake.
Yes, it was. Jake, what do you think?
I'm not a conspiracy theory person. Like, I don't believe anything.
Is my husband watching this?
What's that?
I'm on the front porch. My husband's on the back porch. He's the conspiracy theorist.
Oh.
Yeah.
I told him not to watch it, but I bet he is.
Here. What? Here. Bruce is bringing us back in the lane. How many years do cows last, and do they need time off?
That is a good question. So I would say cow, taken care of properly, maybe with a little bit of spoiling in a good way, would last 8 to 10 years productively. And time off, yes. So they need about 2 to 3 months. Well, they'll be dry. So that'll be 3 months before they calve. We'll dry them off so they can have a little maternity leave.
And then I'm assuming like you AI everything.
Yes. I don't know many people that have a bull, and if they did, they've already sold it.
Yeah.
Who do you get to AI yours?
We use our vet in Smiths Grove.
Okay.
Thomas in England.
Right.
And they're really great because they store our semen for us. We don't have our own semen tank. That's on our list of things to purchase, but it's not a necessity. So you can ask your vet to
We got
store.
Select Sires to come out for ours.
Yeah, we've done that, but we didn't have very good luck with the person that came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we got lucky with it. He's like the regional manager or whatever. He drove in from Louisville to do it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Do you remember his name?
no.
Okay.
I got a video. I
If
got
I
a
say it, would
video.
you know
Maybe.
it? Was it Brady Core?
No,
Okay.
I forgot. I got a video on it. I got a video of him doing, and it's on YouTube.
Oh,
It's got him doing the whole AI deal and everything.
How do you go about doing that? Because I want to ask people, but I feel awkward being like, "Hey, can I record you?"
What, AI or video?
Well, just anything, like asking anyone else if you can record them.
I just asked him. I'm like, I'm gonna do a YouTube video. Are you fine with that? He's like, yeah, hell, I don't care.
Okay.
So
I went to the Amish greenhouse not long ago, and I'm like, hey, some people asked where I got my stuff. Do you care if I take a few pictures and post it? And he's like, well, you can, but you could film a video. And I was like,
now some of the Amish people are like hardcore and they won't let you do any of it. And then some of them are like, okay, whatever.
yeah, he was all about it. I was in there a couple weeks later, and he's like, "Did you get that post? Did you get that?"
He probably wanted to see it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, the funniest story, one of them, I was over at some Amish guy's place talking to him one day, and there were two younger guys and an older guy, and we started talking about wheat. And I was like, "Do y'all grow your own wheat?" I was wanting like some heirloom, non-GMO wheat, and he kind of giggled. He goes, "Yeah," he said, "we grow a little bit of wheat." And I was like, "Okay," and he's kind of laughing. I'm like, "Dude, what's so funny?" He's like, "Nobody's ever," and we talked about it for a while because I told him, I was like, "I want a bunch of it to store and this and that." And he goes, "We've never had anybody come in here and ask about us growing weed before." He thought I said weed. And I'm like, "No." I was
like, you got cut off.
We
I was
did.
gonna say, we're getting ready to get shut down.
I've never had all three of them do that at once. But yeah, he thought I was talking about growing pot instead of wheat. So we had a big time with that. But all right, well, what about, is the earth flat or round?
I don't have a strong opinion on that.
See, I don't put any thought in any of that. Like, I don't believe anything they tell me, but I just don't worry about it. I mean, like, my mom gets into different ones, and I'm like, if you're not gonna like get into prepping or prepare, like, why do you even worry about it? Like, why? I mean, I'm kind of into prepping, so like, but it's not because I think this or that. It's just, I mean, I think why not? Like, I had somebody at work. I don't talk about anything I really do. I'm in sales. I sell electrical parts, but I don't really talk about what I do outside of work. I mean, and one time somebody found out and we're talking. It's like, so, like, what do you think's going to happen? And this was after COVID and everything. And I'm like, I just look at him. I'm like, I mean, after the last 3 years, like, what don't you think could happen?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. And yeah, I do go to Rockville. That's exactly the greenhouse I go to. So I go to the one across from the produce auction. I'll usually go at the same day because when produce is in season, we'll buy extra there for canning and stuff. So,
well, I'm going with flat.
I can understand that.
So, what else have we got? We hadn't even hit an hour yet. Does anybody else have any questions that are still in chat that hadn't poked their eyeballs out of us doing all
Can
this?
you like see who's in the chat?
I can only see there's 7 people here.
Gotcha.
And then, can you see the comments?
Yeah, when they pop them.
are you on your phone though?
Yes.
So if you're on your laptop, you can see them on the side, like they stay and you can read them.
Gotcha.
I actually just figured that out, like the last live. I wondered how people kept talking about the comments because it defaults to private chat, not comments. Nobody told me.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, nobody else, I don't think. Does anybody else have any questions? I know Bruce will come up with a question.
But for the people that are still on, the big thing is, Emily will be there with the cow, and go to the website, Kentucky Sustainable Living, and register. You're not going to get a bunch of like junk mail. It just helps us get an idea of the number that are going to be there for food and a lot of other things that are kind of behind the scenes, that it would just make life a lot easier. So go on the website, register, and you'll also get updates, when we have the next one and dates and stuff like that. So.
All right. Well, I guess we've hit an hour. Emily, you've already milked though for the day, so you're free the rest of the night then, right?
I the baseball now.
Yeah, Chuck said take the medical class.
Yeah.
Do you have to go to the baseball game tonight?
Yeah, we've got to go pick Michael up.
What time?
Like when this is over.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, Emily's
have dinner.
Emily's poor kid is standing on the side of the road, and it's probably going to rain too. And if
he has no shoes, and he's only drinks raw milk.
Yeah, he's got no immune system because he's not been vaccinated with anything.
No, okay, so this is my stepson, which is funny because we have two very polar opposite children. So Michael, that's my stepson. He's 7. He's vaxxed. He eats red dye. He takes ADHD medication, very conventional child. And then my 1-year-old was birthed unmedicated, never had a shot. Now he's had major surgeries, but never had a shot. Was breastfed his whole life so far. Yeah, doesn't eat junk food. Has never seen a screen unless we're at a restaurant. So yeah, it's kind of funny having 2 different kids because you see both sides of it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Wow. All right. Well, we will get off here, Emily. You got to go pick a kid up. Guys, I appreciate everybody coming on. Go check the website out. Sign up for the email, like Jake said. Sign up for the classes.
Emily, what's your social media? In case people want to look at it.
On TikTok and Instagram, it's Emily M Rock. You can add me on Facebook too. That's Emily Rock. And then I also have a website for our farm. It's Royalty Rock Farm.
All right. And we'll try to put all those links in the description if I can figure out how. So, and we're going to get you on YouTube pretty soon too.
I know. I need to.
So. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody being here, and we will see y'all next Friday. We don't know who we're going to have on yet, but next Friday we will have another one. Guys, thanks a lot. Emily, stay on. I want to end all this. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.